Hi, friends, and welcome back to my channel. Most bookkeepers are afraid to talk about pricing. Some bookkeepers are working for $15 an hour, $25 an hour. And all you get from that is just it's over delivering, over working hours, time away from your family, time away from the things that you love to do. And there is no way possible to build a business like that. So we have to really get our pricing down even before we start our own bookkeeping business to set in place how we're going to run our bookkeeping business and how we're going to make money, not just create another job for ourselves, not working another 9 to 5 because we're failing in our prices in our bookkeeping because we are letting our clients dictate what they are willing to pay us. In this video, I'm very excited to actually talk to you about this because I have definitely been down a road of pricing. I've taken on some clients that I am just like, what in the world am I doing here? There is no way possible to make money running a bookkeeping business like this. So in this video, that's what we're going to talk about, pricing, and I'm going to give you some real numbers and experience and prices that I have charged in the past and charge in the future and currently. I do want to remind you in the description, I have our bookkeeping roofing hub. I have a lot of my YouTube videos in there, and I have them organized for you so you can quickly go to whatever video you want to watch without searching like over my channel or YouTube or some specific topic. There's also the first module in my course that is in our certified bookkeeping program that will help you get your QuickBooks Online set up correctly for your roofing company. So that is your first step there. You already have some tools to work with. I also want to let you know in January, I am doing a boot camp. Today, we're going to get to this video and then why hourly rates have you broke. Okay. Now I'm going to point out a few different ways that you can price your bookkeeping services. You can do it hourly. You can do it by transaction. Hourly, I would not recommend hourly because you just get stuck in the same 9 to 5 scenario. And then you're not really building a real business because it doesn't leave you any time to work on your marketing and getting new clients, improving your skills, improving your business. I have clients that are taking you 40 hours, 50 hours a week, and then you have no time for anything else, not even your family or yourself. I know there are some bookkeepers out there that they want 70, 80, 100 clients. For me, that has never been my dream. My dream really is I work with 5 to 10 clients, and I am invested in those companies and helping those clients. And so that's where I put all of my energy and I put my power to help them be successful. Because I definitely, maybe you do, but I don't want to be having to manage 50, 80, 100 different roofing companies or contractors or any other type of clients in the bookkeeping accounting industry. This all comes down to how much do you want to make a month? How much do you want to be able to pay yourself? That is be determined by how many hours that you want to work. And what I recommend with this is having a schedule where you're working maybe 20 hours, 25 hours a week. And then you have the other time to do your marketing, your back office, taking care of things that you need to take care of. For me personally, I used to work all weekends too. I used to do all of that. So I don't work weekends anymore. Even for my son, he's like, Mom, can we work on this on Sunday? I'm like, no, because I don't work on Sundays. If you got some emergency, yes, I'll jump in there and do whatever you need. I typically do not work on the weekends. And I can tell you from experience, I probably about 10 years ago, I was really working in my bookkeeping business, clockwork. I even took an hourly job from a client in San Antonio. They brought me boxes of paper receipts. I think they were paying me like $25 an hour or $35 an hour or something like that. But anyway, after I started going through those boxes and cleaning up these accounts, and those receipts were dirty. They were terrible. At the end of that, I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Be sure of what you're getting yourself into, because I just didn't feel like I was making enough money and I was working my bookkeeping. I can tell you the hourly deal, as far as I'm concerned, does not work out whatsoever, because I don't want somebody telling me what hours I have to work, what they want me to get done in those hours. Another thing that I actually did too, because I wanted more clients, I joined another company. I got accounting jobs off of there. But I tell you, every account that I have was a total mess in there and cleaning up. And after a while, I did away with that because it wasn't like building my business or being fruitful. So you have a lot of decisions to make along the road, a lot of opportunities. Say yes, say no, of whatever suits you and what you want to do. And then another way that we do it is by the transaction. So if you say that you're charging $5 per transaction, what this would actually look like is you could have, say, 3 different bank accounts. Say you have your checking, you have your savings, and a credit card. You would be going through all the transactions of each one of these accounts, and then you would be reconciling that account. You would then be producing a profit and loss report, reviewing that profit and loss report, and then sending that to the client at the end of the month. So that's what that consists of. For one transaction, you've got to process it, you've got to then reconcile, and then you've got to review and prepare the report. And sometimes within that one transaction, if you have to do a journal entry, it could end up 10 transactions within that one transaction. And then any cleanup that you had to do between accounts payable and accounts receivable, invoicing, estimates, and that type of thing. For an example, you know that you're going to charge $5 per transactions, and that might sound high to you. At one point, I heard people doing it for 50 cents. I've heard $3. I've heard for $5. And the only method that I can see that did work, and I tried myself, was actually the $5 per transaction to cover all the work that it takes where you can make money. Okay, but that's my personal opinion on that. You would have 100 in each one of those accounts of transactions. So you've got 300 transactions, then times your $5, and then that is your $1,500. You know, whether it's backup cleaning up per month or whatever it is, however many transactions I have. And I have done a lot of cleanup work, and I will do that by the transaction so that I can give the customer a full cost. And if any extra transactions come up, then I will charge them extra for that. So I'm only including that in what I can see, the actual physical transactions. When I look at their bank statement or when I have their bank account in QuickBooks, and then it shows you exactly how many transactions are in there for each one of those accounts. So that is a big benefit of QuickBooks too, of connecting those bank accounts, those credit cards to QuickBooks, and you know exactly how many transactions. Even on monthly clients that you have, I can go in because I do bookkeeping every week for roofing companies. There's anywhere from 150 to 200 transactions each week in their main operations account. You can see like over a month, then you're doing 800, you're doing 1,000 transactions. So it can equal up to be a lot of transactions. The one thing that I will say, if you are charging a client of $300, anything less than $500, it makes it really hard to make a good profit on that, because you still have to get in there and know that account and know that client and be available for that client. So just be careful if you are pricing like at 300. I do have one client that I do that. He just started a construction business. He probably has less than like 10 transactions a week that even come through his account. It's mainly me just keeping up to date with everything. Our second pricing too is the 500 baseline for roofing contractors, because we're doing the bookkeeping. We could be doing job costing. We could be paying bills or just entering bills. I don't generally pay the bills, but I enter the bills in if they send them to me. And then also the accounts receivable, the invoicing, the estimates, and some roofers will only be using QuickBooks for the estimate and invoices and payments. Some others will be using a CRM such as Job Nimbus, AccuLinks, Roofer, and then those invoices actually are being synced over to QuickBooks. The roofer is putting all the information in that CRM. You only go into CRM to look for something if you need to see some invoice or whatever. Roofers will pay anywhere from $500 to actually $10,000 a month for bookkeeping services, depending on what you're helping them with, especially if you're doing their basic bookkeeping and you're doing job costing, you're doing financials, you're prepping reports, you're telling them, what their numbers are, what they need to work on. You're just doing some consulting with them. So it is possible. So just keep that in mind. But then again, you want to, in order to make, good profits like this, you have to be specialized, just like a doctor. I know we've heard it hundreds of times. The specialists make more money than the general. You need to specialize in it. So you have to get to know the language that they use, the terms that they use, how their clients pay, what they need help with, so that you can help them with all of those things. And that's what roofers and contractors will pay you good premium money for, is helping them where they don't have to think about these things. As long as they're answering your questions, any questions you have, you're going to ask them in email and let them respond back. And then you can resolve it pretty quickly. If you don't know where an expense goes, or what did you purchase with this, or you bought a new truck, please send me over the purchase agreement so I can get that set up for you. You want to be a specialist. And that's why I love that, just for roofing especially, we just have one niche. So every roofing client we have, or every painter we have, whatever the contractor is doing, all their services are repeat services. So we're doing like the same thing every week. We're not having to learn new things all of the time. Sometimes we do, but we're not constantly. Our main work is getting done, and it's basically our same system that we've created every week that we're going to do for that client. And that's really in my boot camp that I'm having in January. Those of you that are really serious about getting your bookkeeping business started, then we are going to really be starting. If you don't have a roofing client, we're going to be starting a demo roofing company, and we're going to go through all the steps. And then as you get your first client, then we're going to turn that QuickBooks into your setup for that first client. We're going to be on Facebook, contacting people and getting your first client. because honestly, you can have 3 to 6 clients and you can make up to $10,000 a month just working part-time. You can make more if you want to put in more hours than that. For me, at this stage of the game, I enjoy working 15 or 20 hours a week, comfortably work my bookkeeping business. I can have the lifestyle that I want. And then if I get ready to travel, I can go and travel. If I want to take off for the holidays, I can take off for the holidays. The only time that if you are offering, say, payroll services, you'll have to make sure that you either, do that while you're away from your desk with your computer, or you have someone you can hire just to run, or you could actually outsource the payroll if you wanted to do that, even to give you more freedom, like with Paychex, ADP. In the bootcamp, I am going to show you how we map out ADP or Paychex, how it comes into QuickBooks in a journal entry, and how we do that process. That saves us some time. The good thing about Paychex or ADP or any payroll service, they're paying the taxes, so you don't have to worry about that. They're doing all the filing, so you don't have to worry about that. End of the year, they're doing the W-2s. Some of them do the 1099s for contractors. That's a full service deal there. But anyway, please do take a look in the descriptions, the links that I have down there for you, whatever interests you in those. I've not put too many links down there, so you can find the one that you do want, that you're interested in. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you know anyone that is looking to start a new bookkeeping business, especially with the end of the year and the first of the year coming up, which is the busy season, so it's a prime time to get your business started. And so I will see you next Saturday with another video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.